Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back. We're here for another episode of the Benched In podcast here at Benchmark Tool and Supply. Going to do things a little differently today. Wanted to have you guys learn and meet some of our new hires and just some of our team members who have been around for a while. Today is going to be all about marketing. I'm the marketing manager here at Benchmark, so what I do a lot of times is behind the scenes. You guys may have seen me on camera doing podcasts and some videos, but here recently, been a little bit more behind the scenes. With me today, I've got Dustin Steele, who's our social media marketing manager, director,
everything,
the guru of social media. And then I've got Mike Martin, who is really behind the scenes, but he is the mastermind behind our website and running our e-commerce. So we're just going to take some time today, get to know them, show you guys a little bit of what we're doing here at Benchmark. I'm sure you guys have noticed some changes. So I wanted to kind of show y'all what we were doing and kind of just talk about marketing Benchmark in general. So as we have started doing before, we're going to get benched in. We're going to start off with Dustin. Favorite superhero?
Batman.
Superman.
Oh, didn't they make a movie about that?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did. It was a tie.
It was
There, just keep it at that. No.
You have to say it was a tie. Awesome. So, Mike, favorite or dream car, truck, or SUV?
69 Camaro.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, I've always wanted one. I'm going to try to get one when I'm older.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully I can still find one, but I need it to be manual.
My man.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Dustin.
Old school Chevy Malibu with the bench seats. I want one of those so bad. That's a dream car.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I remember you telling me that at some point, either in the interview process or your first couple of days here.
Have like the old school like look on the outside, but then have everything updated on the inside. That is the dream.
Okay, so Mike, you're halfway there. You got a Malibu. You just need the buckets.
Trying to get rid of it too. I mean,
oh yeah,
maybe going on a deal here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dustin, back to you. If you had unlimited money, what would you be doing?
Probably building houses for my family members.
That's awesome. Very cool. You're making some killing right now.
Oh yeah, lumber probably made me broke real fast. Though.
Yeah, no kidding. Mike, what about you?
It's going to sound cliche, but travel.
No.
I mean, I do like to travel a lot, and
Yeah.
ideally have like a little house in Italy, like on the coast, and then kind of just travel around Europe and maybe Asia. I don't know. I got to see, but definitely Europe.
That sounds awesome. I like it. All right. This is going to be a fun one because I don't think either one of you are singers. But if you're singing karaoke, what song are you belting out? Mike.
Oh, God. It's a tough one. I got to think. I mean, I've done karaoke in the past when I was younger.
Okay.
Just like played around with my friends or like on a cruise ship.
Barbie Girl.
Oh, I could do, tequila. It's like a two-word song.
That's cheating.
Yeah,
That is cheating. But maybe probably a country song, definitely.
Okay.
I got to go with country, but I'm not really sure off the top of my head. I mean,
Okay. That was a tough one.
yeah.
Dustin, you've had plenty of time to think.
I'm glad he went first. I'll say, give me a while to think, but for sure, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
Okay. I mean, for all the audience.
This Is How We Do It by Montel Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Good party songs. I like it.
Nice.
Right on. All right. So this is going to be a tough one back to you. Your favorite or your best childhood memory?
Okay, so you gave him the easier question last round. Yeah. Favorite childhood memory?
Yeah.
Probably visiting, as weird as it sounds, visiting my Uncle Rich in Sonoma. We would do these long drives from my family used to live in Nevada, and we'd go visit him. It was just fun being in the car with him, and then also getting to that place. It just, Sonoma was always like a beautiful, beautiful little not small city, but nice place to like look at it. And just a lot of good memories happen in his household, so
Yeah.
usually the first thing I think of.
Okay. Did you ever go to the racetrack?
The drag racing track. Yeah, we did it. I think one or two times. And funny story behind that was there was a driver for the Rock vehicle and Stone Cold Steve Austin vehicle, so I thought I was going to meet him. And I just met the driver instead.
When you're a kid, you think they drive the cars.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but
That's awesome. Arizona's beautiful. I've been out there once or twice. It's amazing.
you say Arizona?
Right?
No, I'm talking about Sonoma, California.
Oh.
Yeah, wine country.
Well, see, I was way off then.
But no, there's a drag racing strip. So I was like, how'd you know?
Yeah. There's also
NASCAR track there,
Yeah.
too.
Well, dang, all right. I was way off. Mike, what about you?
So when I was younger, I used to race go-karts.
Okay.
And so when I was 7, I moved up a class like during the summer at my home track. And I wasn't supposed to move up. I moved up a year early, and it was my first race. And I like went from like a little kit car like engine to like an actual like big boy motor.
Yep.
And I actually won the first race I ever raced in like in the
Nice.
new class by maybe about a nose.
Okay.
And I like went in the grass and like passed like the kid and everything. And I could like
Nice.
hear my dad in the background after because he took a video and he's like, "Don't do it! Like, what are you doing? Go to the outside! Like, you
Yeah.
never go to the outside." And I stuck it and I won the race, and it was cool because then like I got to sign some autographs
That's
from like
awesome.
family friends and stuff. You know, like they were like
Yeah.
family friends, but it was kind of cool because I was 7 years old and I was like, "Damn, I just like won a race!" Like, it was pretty cool.
That's like the equivalent of like bottom of the 9th Grand Slam walk off.
Yeah.
And you're like 4 years younger than everybody else.
Oh yeah, like it was great, and it was cool as a night race too. So like, and I got like a DVD because there was somebody there filming it. And like sometimes I'll go back and watch it. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool.
That's actually really
He's
cool.
got it saved on his phone.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. We're up at 7.
Before the iPhone was available.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, Mike, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be and why?
Oh, I got to go Eric Cartman from South Park. Just because he's so funny, and like I would just like to pick his brain and get him annoyed because he always gets so annoyed.
What do you think he would pick on you about?
Maybe for being a little short.
Okay. Well, that's all of us.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have like outside of like work and stuff. I guess sometimes I don't have common sense, a sense where I just like say things that people look at me like, "Did you really just say that?" Like just not thinking.
Okay.
And probably about that, but I would love to hear. I think it'd be hilarious.
I'm
I'd
with
probably
you.
crack up all day.
Yeah, for sure. Dustin, what about you?
I'd have to pick SpongeBob SquarePants. That was like my entire childhood. So all the memes that come from it, like
Yep.
everything, it'd just be funny just to be part of that whole like universe if I could.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So being the social media guy, this is a good one for you to start on.
Okay.
What is your most used personal emoji?
Probably it's either gonna be the laughing face or crooked face laughing emoji,
Okay.
of course.
Yep.
It's a good way to end any awkward conversation. Like, oh yeah, this thing's actually not as good. Laughing face.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I use a laughing face a lot just because, like,
Yeah.
you know, I like to be sarcastic too. So, like, in text, you can't really tell if you're being sarcastic
True.
or not.
True.
So I'll throw the laughing face in there, be like, all right, like, it's okay, it was kind. But
Yeah. I'm just kidding. See?
Like I said, cushions the blow sometimes.
It
Like,
does.
yeah.
That dress is ugly, smiley face. All right, let's see. Give me your best scar story, Mike. Not emotional. We don't need
Yeah.
emotional
Oh,
scars.
no.
Probably when I was 4, I cracked my head open.
Okay.
And it was funny. I was playing like these little like toy like Matchbox cars and like went underneath my china closet, and I was like, oh cool, like I'm gonna get it. And I guess like my mom had just pledged the floors or something, and I like slipped and just my head just went right into the corner of it.
Yep.
And like I didn't realize I was bleeding. So I like go and like I'm crying and I like go to my mom, and then like she sees like blood on her shirt, and I was like, oh. So then I had to go to like the ER, and I had to wait like 2 hours, and I had to like go to preschool before. Mind this is like 7 o'clock in the morning, so I had to like go to like preschool too.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting 2 staples in my head. But the cool part about it was the doctor let me take them out when it was time to take it out.
That's awesome.
So like yeah, that was pretty cool. I still have a scar on my head. You can't really see it now because my hair covers it. But I mean,
Hey, you and I have something in common, right?
Oh, jeez.
yeah, mine was like right here.
Yep.
But
I wasn't climbing. I was like 12 and energetic and did circles in the kitchen and ran down the hallway and found a corner. So definitely a lot more embarrassing because yeah. So all right, Dustin, what about you?
I don't know how old I was, but it involved a can of SpaghettiOs and a can opener. And when it got stuck, and so I was just like, you know, whatever. I'll try to get off. End up cutting like a little bit on the inside of my thumb area.
Yep.
And I was like, it hurts, but I could just kept like sucking my like that area too. I was like, whatever. And then eventually my family was like, what do you keep doing? Why are you doing that? And I was like, look. And they at first thought it was SpaghettiO sauce. So they're like, oh, why are you freaking out? Like, why do you keep doing that? I was like, and all of a sudden they realized like, oh my God, because it was pretty big.
Oh yeah.
And ever since then I've been scarred from actual using like can openers.
You could not use can opener
Like,
anymore.
here, you do it.
All right. This is the last one. You guys have done awesome. I always ask this to everybody because it's one of my favorite questions. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received, Dustin?
From my dad, it's usually defining what's a want or a need in your life.
Ooh, that is a good one.
And it's usually not about, financial, just anything, life decisions, anything.
Yeah, fantastic. What about you?
Kind of like live in the moment and
Okay.
just kind of like go with your gut. So like, because you never know like if you're gonna have the chance to do something again. So like if you have the opportunity, kind of just go and do it. And I
Yeah.
mean, there's been plenty of times where like I haven't lived by that and I missed an opportunity. So now
Sure.
I'm kind of just like, well, I got to do that in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Love it. All right, so we're going to dive on in. Hopefully you guys got to know them a little better. I certainly learned some things today. I learned never to give Dustin some can openers. And Mike, if we wash the floors, we'll let you know. So we'll just start. I'm going to just kick it off here. Dustin, I mean, what did you do before you joined Benchmark?
I was a graphic designer for a family-owned dental supply company, and I started out as an intern and then eventually got hired full-time. I was doing catalog work at first, print production stuff,
Sure.
and then eventually moved to just doing their digital campaigns, mostly with emails and creating website elements such as web heroes and offer boxes. And I did that for, like I said, 7 years, close to 7.
That's awesome. And so you're familiar with, small local family-owned businesses just like Benchmark Tool and Supply is. Awesome. All right, Mike, what about you? What did you do?
So I just graduated last May.
The baby of the group.
Yeah, so 2020, not last month. But and I had previous internships in marketing, and I used to work for the wholesaler for Party City. I had an internship doing marketing for them. I did marketing for a local YMCA. That was pretty cool because I was a member there my whole life, so that was cool just to actually like do behind the scenes. I've worked some pretty odd jobs too. I've done electrical work with my dad. I've done contracting work before. I've worked at Home Depot actually leading up to this job.
Okay.
So that was cool. I got my forklift license. It was pretty cool. But I've just done a lot of things in school with marketing. I worked with like a local bar for class, so that was cool. And we did a lot of market research for them and like social media marketing and stuff.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Then I got this and I'm happy. So
I'm glad. We're glad to have you on. So obviously lots of marketing experience in this room. I went to college and I graduated with a marketing degree as well. Got into finance for some reason and then car sales and finally found my way over here to Benchmark to do some marketing. So it took me a while to get here. Not quite a little bit longer than y'all, but we're lots of marketing experience here in the room. When you joined Benchmark, I know I have a good aha story that I'll share. But what was kind of like, Mike, we'll start with you. What was your sort of aha moment where you really put together? I mean, I know we interviewed you, and I can try to explain to you what it is we do all day, what our customers do all day. But until you sit down and you do the job, I was not expecting to learn what I did in the first few weeks. What was your, like, aha moment or holy crap, I get what we do, and I see why what we do for our customers and what our customers do is so important?
So, I mean, yeah, going in, obviously the interview process, we're told everything about the company. And I mean, getting here, like my first day, it was a lot of information with all the products and stuff like that. And I mean, kind of leading up in the first week, I guess, with like the products, knowing what we do, like that was cool. But I know me and you had the opportunity on the first Friday that I actually was here, and we went to a little demo, and that was cool just because like I had never really seen a laser like that in my life, and kind of it was cool just to even just be a part of a demo, and that really helped me understand. And then I think it was the following week or maybe the week after that, there was an iDig training, and that was cool because I've never heard of iDig until then. And so kind of just putting everything together and realizing like, wow, this stuff is really cool. It's really beneficial, especially iDig. iDig is insane. And I've been on mini excavators before with none of that. And like just even seeing that, I was like, wow, this would be really helpful.
Yeah, and you did get, a quick introduction because the first one was the new Topcon LN150. And that was, even new for me to see. But yeah, for somebody who's not used to doing construction layout, beneficial for me, obviously new product. But yeah, coming in for you.
Yeah, that was really beneficial. And it definitely helped with like product management, stuff like that. And definitely creating copy for our marketing, and it made a lot of sense after that.
Yeah, fair enough. Dustin, what about for you? You didn't get quite the intro, but you were sort of thrown in as well.
Thrown into giant mystery at first. Like, okay, what content do we have? Everything. But the biggest aha moment was actually, stealing Mike's answer, was the demo day. Going out there and using the construction technology equipment from like Topcon and iDig at first hand, first use, first person. Was kind of an interesting experience. Going into this job, I really thought I was going to be like selling bulldozers and actual excavators. Like, okay. And I was like, oh no, we're actually selling this smaller equipment or bigger equipment, depending on what we're selling. But
Sure.
it's not the actual machinery. It's the things that will help them work more efficiently, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, and you went to the demo day we had with James River, where we had the iDig, we had the automatic excavator, we had stuff for dozers and motor graders. I mean, you definitely got thrown into the whole machine control piece of it quickly, and got a chance to play with it a little bit, which is something you hadn't had a chance to do yet.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. First time using any like excavators, and we didn't use the dozer, but the excavators for sure. Both the mini and the big with the actual.
Oh yeah, we did get on the full size one too.
Oh yeah.
Actually, if you check out, just to give me a shameless plug, check out our TikTok. We are very good at making fun of ourselves. So if you see, poor excavator or poor dozer operating, it's probably one of us just trying to figure out.
It's me.
Just trying to figure out how to use the products. We're not experts, so don't judge us on our skill based on our social media. It's probably us.
Yeah.
Dustin, what was your expectation when you got the job offer from Benchmark? Your first day, what did you think we were doing? What did you think we were selling? And what did you think you'd be doing?
Well, from my last answer, it was pretty much I thought we were actually selling machinery. So I was for the prepping for this job, I was like researching, doing just very basic research in the equipment. I was okay, I know the general information about this machine, what it does. And then when I finally got here and realized it's more specific equipment, that's when I realized, okay, I'm gonna do more research for sure. Still learning to this day.
Yep. So, Mike, what about you? What was your expectations coming into working at Benchmark?
Yeah. I kind of knew what we did in a sense, but not like deep down into it. I did some research. I looked on the website, especially as like an e-commerce marketing specialist. I kind of was like, I got to look at the website, see what they're doing.
Yep.
But yeah, so like I knew like what products we sold and stuff like that. I didn't really know the like deep down like into actually what they really did, but I was like, hey, we sell a bunch of products. Like we do some surveying, we do machine control. All right, cool. And then when I got here, because I kind of knew what I was doing, and then when I got here, I was like, okay, it's a lot more work than I thought. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. Like it was a great job, but it was just cool because like I like how I can manage our ad account and do all our SEO. And for those of you that don't know, SEO, it's search engine optimization. And it's basically where we rank on Google when people organically search us. So when you go on Google and you search like TopCon machine control or something like that, like those first rankings on the page, like that's kind of what we want to be at the top for. And it was cool just because like going in, once I started the job, I was like, okay, like this is cool. Like I can actually really improve this. And there's no like really, we have a benchmark, but I want to improve on it.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. I kind of just, in a sense, not that there was, I myself didn't have really any expectations. I kind of, going into this as my first job, I didn't really know what to expect in general because I've always been used to internships.
Sure.
And it was kind of just, okay, here's your work for the week, and then you do it. And then half the time you're done before like the week's over, and you're like, well, what do I do with my time?
Yep.
So this is cool because I know I'm always busy, and I can kind of make up some work just because if I notice something, I'm like, okay, I don't have to actually like ask someone, oh, can I do this? It's okay, this is your job, you can do it.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
And I'm definitely learning as I go too.
Good.
But I definitely like the expectations everyone sets though in general.
Good. And that's kind of a neat little transition. So and you hit on a little bit, but I want to dig in a little deeper. I mean, what is your day-to-day? What does it look like? And then what are some of the improvements that you've made since you've been here to either Google optimization, the website, just in general?
So basically my day-to-day, so usually when I come into work, I look at our Google ads and see how they're performing for the day or the past week and stuff. And I kind of just check if they need to make any updates. So like with our search ads that we have, I'll update some keywords or things like that. Kind of like try to improve click-through rates. And then throughout the day, if I have to add some products or maybe do some pricing updates, then I kind of do that. And then a lot of my day is now, especially now, is basically all the SEO stuff. So looking at our website, looking what keywords we rank for on specific pages, how we can better rank for the keywords, how we can maybe improve on some of the keywords we already have and maybe just add them in a little bit more, do some more descriptive stuff. And it's a lot of work, but I love it. And especially I like researching our competitors. That's like the fun thing because I'm like, okay, like what is everyone else ranking for? Like, let's see like where we can get them on. And
cool.
It's always cool. And it's nice because like we have improved
drastically.
Yeah. Like I know our ABI pages are definitely like first page now, which is very exciting.
Yeah, that is.
And I mean, we've gained a lot more traffic to the website. I know sales are up too, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, and a lot of that is, I mean, I know your first week, I think I gave you 1,500 products and said, here, update all the keywords, go. This would be a good way for you to learn them.
Yeah, and that was definitely, I saw that and I was like, oh, well, this is a lot. And now I'm just like, okay, cool, I'm rolling with the flow. Like, everything's all good. Like,
yeah. And I figured that was a good way, not to just dump it on you, but I mean, it was a good way to learn the products too, is here, do some research on it. And fantastic.
Definitely time management. I've definitely, as that has become my friend.
Yeah,
that has definitely become my friend.
And Dustin, I know it's kind of the same question you, when you came in, you already had ideas about kind of what you wanted to prove, and you jumped on that immediately, which was awesome. So, walk us through sort of the day-to-day, and from when you got hired on to what you do now, sort of how that job is kind of grown and progressed.
I'll start with the day-to-day. Usually the first thing I do when I get here is I crack open a nice cold one. I mean,
nobody knows. So.
No, I get here usually early, and first thing I do is just check on our social medias. Mm-hmm. When I first got here, we have Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Yep.
But all the platforms we have now, we have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok.
Yep.
If I'm forgetting one, I am sorry, but there's a lot to manage.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube as well. But YouTube, we'll talk about YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
But usually it's the first thing is just commenting back, replying, liking other people's content as well. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing about social media is just networking.
Yeah.
And then the rest of my day is actually the content we already have planned out. I usually meet beginning of the week. We'll have content planned out for the whole week, and then I have to either do some video editing, maybe some light Photoshop. But the biggest thing, and even still to this day from day one, that's the thing that takes up most of my workday, is doing hashtags. Yeah.
And why are hashtags so important? Please tell us.
Hashtags is like free marketing, and Instagram gives you at least up to 30 you could use. Mm-hmm. Now, I wasn't aware of this. I know hashtags were a thing on Instagram. I usually thought they were bigger on Twitter, but even Twitter doesn't use them as much.
Right.
But Instagram, for sure, if you hashtag properly, you'll get the correct eyes on your content, and it actually helps feed their algorithms.
Okay.
Facebook's algorithms change, but Instagram's is still about the same. Whatever hashtags you use, whatever content you're following or liking, it'll feed you the same content you're actually looking for. So,
right.
But to this day, depending on the content we have to put out, it takes a while to do hashtags.
And that's after we sat down for 4 or 5 hours in one day and typed into Instagram A and B and just whatever popped up that seemed appropriate we grabbed. And you made how many spreadsheets?
It's still growing. I have like 8 spreadsheets going on depending on what the content's for. And even then it's like, okay, I'll add new ones today, or maybe I'll just use this one I haven't used in a while. But that's the biggest trick with just Instagram alone is using hashtags.
Okay. So then Mike, going back to you, what is the biggest trick for like the search campaigns that we're using? I know you said you kind of look at our competitors, but how do you dive into, or how do you make our ads show up higher than somebody else's?
So a lot of it is like bid adjustments. Recently though, I've switched over to automated bidding just because it's a little easier. And Google had a live stream 2 weeks ago now, and they said that they're really trying to get people to use automated bidding. So I kind of was like, oh, maybe I'll just try it out. Okay. A lot of it is just bidding on the keywords, and like I'll look at the keywords and I know which ones like are underperforming or just not performing as well. And the ones that are performing really well, I'll just throw more money at it. Like, so the cost per click when somebody like actually clicks on our ad for like whatever keyword that they searched, I'll throw that up like higher than like one that's performing lower.
Okay.
And that'll just help with our like click-through rates. And ideally you want to be at top of the page for Google ads. And then for the SEO stuff, for trying to be top of the page, that's kind of just keywords in general and just trying to rank for them in a sense. And ads a lot easier to rank for than regular, just organically. So,
and it's a lot of kind of trial and error, right? So if you're trying to find like laser, you might get laser pointer or laser level, and you've got to go in and sort of tweak. All right, I don't want laser pointer, so let me just go ahead and remove that.
Yeah. So the beauty with Google Ads too, so you could do a broad match, a phrase match, and then an exact match for keywords. So I strictly keep it to phrase and exact. Okay. So like I'll do like laser level as like a phrase because somebody can add some stuff on, and but then like some things like I'll put an exact just because like I only want that like that search query to like show up. So that's the beauty when you do broad stuff like that happens. And I've had trial and error with that, especially in the last couple of weeks with that. And I've had weird things coming up. Like we were doing our clamps and stuff, and I just had like clamps as a keyword or brackets, and people were searching like decking brackets and other things like that. Clearly, which we don't sell. So
right. So still a bracket, just not what we want to do. So we know that maybe that's not the best search word for us to be using at that point. Not coming from construction. I know you've got a little bit of a construction background, but what's been the most challenging part of incorporating what we do into your job of managing the e-commerce business?
So for me, I think the hardest part was just like learning how to phrase things and kind of like getting behind like our audience and like picturing myself as them and saying, okay, like what would I search if I was like operating a dozer or something, like kind of just in that industry. And like I do have some construction background, but not near, like coming into this, it was just completely different. And so definitely just learning how to like write like I would be in the industry and kind of grabbing their attention. And also just how to like phrase things with our products, especially because like even now, I mean, I'm like familiar with all of our products, but kind of writing about them, I still have to do a little bit of research and learn how to phrase things the right way so it doesn't come off as a completely different thing.
Yeah, well, especially because you're writing ads like Google display ads, so you've got to be able to write something that catches attention if it's a display ad.
Yeah.
Cool. Dustin, same thing for you. Same question.
Same things, phrasing. Like I already talked about the hashtag stuff, but some things you might think would work, you all of a sudden do a little bit, deep dive into that hashtag. You realize it has nothing to do with the hashtag's actually about. You could, for instance, I'll use like construction, which actually is okay for us, but you could try something that's easy. Oh, okay, well, construction, so I'll use construction. All of a sudden you look into it and it's nothing about construction. It's like some wrestling crew by the name of construction or something, and they have the whole entire feed is nothing but that. It's like, okay, well, I guess I can't use that one now. And then just trying to find relatable hashtags to keep feeding that algorithm.
Gotcha. Yeah. And staying out of the way of the dozers on construction sites, right? When you take pictures.
Oh, yeah, that too,
What do you guys think, and Dustin, we'll start with you. What do you think is the most exciting product that we sell?
Most exciting product?
Yeah.
If I had to actually choose one, I would choose the iDig.
Okay.
Because that's the one I got to spend the most time with at the James River Day. Just seeing how easy that was to use. Even for someone like me who's never used an excavator or anything, just a simple...
Follow the dots.
Yeah. It was so simple, so easy. If I could do it, I'm pretty sure someone on that construction site can do it as well. It was so simple. So I said, okay, I see that. And plus, shouts to iDig, they do give us a lot of retention back on our posts. I was like, okay, yeah, definitely give them a shout out too.
Yes, they do. iDig is definitely on it on their social media game for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, what about you?
I got to go with the ABI Force.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm a huge baseball guy too. Like I grew up playing baseball, and I mean, I've done some fields. Like, I mean, as a player, I've had to like do some field management, and I always just like doing stuff like that anyway. When I saw this, I've never heard of it until I came here. And when I saw it, I was like, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. And there's so many attachments you can use for it. It's so easy, especially because you can stand on it. I didn't even realize that you can even put a laser on it and do that. Like, that's great. That makes life so much easier because I always hated when there was lips in the field. And
well, we talked about as we were getting ready, somebody losing of teeth because the ground ball hit a lip and took out a tooth. So
yeah, I mean, I wish we had those back up north, but but yeah, we had some rough fields. But yeah, the ABI Force is great, and all their attachments too that they have, especially even just ABI in general, with all the new attachments that we have, especially now. But yeah, I got to go with the ABI.
I love it. So one thing that we'll kind of cover real quickly, and obviously with Benchmark, we're a very established TopCon dealer, and not at all calling machine control old or boring, but it's been there. The word has gotten out. So it's always fun and challenging for us, since we're all relatively new to the industry. We come with a little bit of new zeal and say, all right, well, since we're new to it, maybe we're going to see something that some of the old timers knew about, but they kind of missed. But what's really exciting for us too is when we get the opportunity to bring on some new products, because it definitely stretches our imagination, our bandwidth, and our just creativity. So have decided to bring on a whole new sort of segment to our business, and that's landscaping and turf management. And the reason we've decided to do that is a lot of the manufacturers in those industries have started implementing GPS and laser control, like Mike was mentioning on the ABI. I'm not going to get into specifics right now. Just know that a lot of it is coming. But I wanted to pick your brain on what it's been like to try to learn construction, try to learn machine control. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, by the way, now we're in landscaping and turf management. So as far as social media goes, I know you were just at a show. How has it been? How have you taken that challenge for social media to take our social media account that's been very established in machine control and construction and now have to incorporate sort of another industry? How have you done that?
Just doing some very minor research, looking at what other landscaping, turf management companies there are out there, and then even being on that actual demo expo yesterday, Virginia Sports Turf. Just seeing the other competitors out there, what do they do? What do they offer? And seeing what we're going to offer, which is, by the way, very, very exciting and actually going to be very, very easy, very, very cost efficient too. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
Not going to say anymore, but just seeing all that and seeing it hands-on, first impressions, everything, it's exciting. And then just seeing what other companies are willing to do. Like, you've seen some companies that have already been out there. Like, there's, of course, John Deere is usually a big name out there as well. But I think really just kind of getting that first hands-on experience is the best way to learn anything. I could do research all day, all night, and it just won't do me any good until I'm actually out there seeing what we're dealing with.
Right. And a company we recently partnered with is they're the reason that we got back on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Can I give them a shout out? Or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shout outs to Tracknology. They put us on game about Twitter and getting back up there. Just as I'll say with anything, just having more media outlets for our company. It's pretty much free advertising, free market space. So I see why not.
Yeah.
And they're killing it too.
Yeah, so I mean that's definitely a big thing is making sure you're on the right social media platforms, making sure you're using the right hashtags when you are bringing a new product to market, because there is an untapped market out there and you've just got to find the hashtags and find the way to reach them. Mike, I mean, doing the website, we're keeping you busy adding new products.
Yeah.
How have you managed that?
I mean, I just take it day by day. I'm being completely honest. I mean, I love doing it. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Sure.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because, like, I'll be like, oh, great. Like, they're all added. And then, like, 2 days later, you got to add, like, 5 more. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, back on it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I love it because it's cool because I can, like, optimize it. If we're going to run ads for it, too, I can make a little separate, like, landing page for it. And,
Sure.
I mean, I just like doing it, especially because, like, I kind of like the sports turf, like, landscaping industry as well. So, like, to me, I'm like, oh, great. This is right up my alley. Like, So, I mean, it's just cool to me, and I love doing it. And it hasn't been too bad, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah, good. Well, and you both got unique challenges. I mean, your job is to sell them with words on a website. I mean, they can't see the product physically. They can't feel for it. You've got to really dig in, and then you've got to try to sell it with a picture and 200 words or 200 characters.
30 hashtags, 200 character limits. Yeah.
That's it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely challenging to bring on new products, but not something that's impossible to do. You just got to have the right resources, you got to have the time, and you got to do the research. I mean, that's, I think, the big thing that we all knew, but coming into it, you've got to do research because, I mean, in marketing, your idea and your job is to help your sales reps sell. So you've got to know enough to be able to sound like you know what you're doing, but you can't be product specialist about one thing. You've got to know everything. From construction and surveying and sports turf and drones.
Yeah, it's a drone.
Which we didn't even touch on today because that's a whole nother area. And I know that, we're running up on time, but I just, that there's a lot that goes into marketing. I know a lot of people, and I may be generalizing here, but I know a lot of people feel like marketing is the guys who don't do anything. They just sit back and take pictures. And while that is absolutely true, what you don't see is the guys behind the scene who are going to shows, taking pictures, having to learn about the products, the guys who are sitting behind the computer just pounding out have keywords and hashtags, and it all seems probably trivial, but when you can sit there and you can quantify, we've had an uptick in sales. We've had our TikTok went from 0 followers to 1,500.
Yeah, we're above 1,500 right now at this very moment.
In less than a month. I mean, numbers you can quantify, and whether or not you can turn that into, hey, I know I sold this, I can tell you that we've had more inquiries on our website since Mike started. I can tell you our following has grown significantly since Dustin started. So they may not exactly quantify into sales numbers, but you guys are making a difference. Marketing does make a difference. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today was just the marketing team, why marketing is important, and what we do and how we're doing it. So that's really what I wanted to cover today. Do y'all have any kind of closing thoughts about Google and e-commerce and website?
I mean, I know Google changes, so I have like a love-hate relationship with Google. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
Google changes like every single day, and it's really annoying. But from their live stream that I was on, they really are going towards the e-commerce like wave, and I think that's just due to COVID and everyone like not being able to shop inside and being able to shop online, and that's definitely going to help us a lot. And I mean, I love working here. I love doing everything with Google and trying to optimize everything, and it's just been fun so far.
Cool. Yeah, those changes keep you busy, right? I mean, I know
Yeah.
you're in my office daily going, hey, Google changed something. Hey, they changed it again. 4 hours later, hey, dude, they changed something again. But, they're trying to do the best they can. But, I mean, it is a struggle. So I know a lot of companies struggle to say, I can't hire somebody to do it full time. Well, you're missing out on a big piece of that online traffic. And like you said, that's where a lot of people are going now. I mean, due to COVID and just the general internet stuff, people like to search at home. And so if you're not having that dedicated person to search online and run your Google ad campaigns and stay on top of that, you're going to miss out, because if you're out a month, you're behind big time.
Yeah.
Dustin, what about you? Final thoughts?
I would say it's more like a word of advice to some people who listen to this is don't be afraid to embrace like more platforms. Like I know so many companies we work with, they don't even have any social medias, or they'll have like maybe just a Facebook page, which I'm learning Facebook's starting to become a little bit harder to advertise on, especially for free.
Yeah.
Even when I was getting put on board, it was, Chuck was like, hey, we want to do TikTok. And I was the mindset I think most people might have when they first hear me say that is, oh, that's the platform without the kids dancing. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Same here, actually.
We knew you were already on there dancing, so.
But just embracing that platform alone, we've had way bigger numbers of viewership just on that platform than we've been doing on Facebook for a while, Instagram for a while, LinkedIn even.
Yeah.
And we just started Twitter again. But even if you're afraid of the lane you might be in landscaping, with Tracknology, mentioning them again, just seeing that there's a turf algorithm already going on Twitter. And even just by following them and a few others, automatically I'm being fed more turfing companies, turfing content. So
yeah, and you mentioned something that I want to bring up is stay in your lane. Just run through that real quick, because I think it's so valuable.
Well, yeah, stay in your lane. Even if you think you're a little niche company thing, just if that's what you do, don't be afraid to embrace that. Say, hey, this is what we do. This is what we offer. And just keep on doing about that. And just post content about that too.
Yeah.
I'll say that's another word of advice. Just keep it about what you're posting about. Don't try to reach out and do anything too outrageous, because then it's going to draw on a weirder audience in some platforms.
Yeah.
I think you already know where I'm going with this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one video on TikTok, I think, has close to 100,000 views. That's more than I think any video we've put out on any platform since the creation of Benchmark Tool and Supply. And that was one video. So, I mean, the outreach is there. I had to break my mindset of it's girls dancing or whatever, and TikTok, maybe there's valuable information out there on TikTok for sure. All right. Hey, that's it. We just wanted to sit down and talk marketing with you guys and kind of give you a behind the scenes. Dustin, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy day. Mike, same to you. I know you're busy back there with Google, so really appreciate y'all coming on and just sharing some information. Guys, thank you so much for checking in. Please check on back for more Benchmark Benched In podcasts. We're going to be sitting down with Chuck Harris again. We're going to go over some of the new products that we're bringing on. I'm going to have Alan, who is our service director. We're just going to talk about some of our service capabilities and what we do and why we do it. I'm also going to sit down with John, who runs our warehouse, shipping and receiving, and we're going to talk about what's been going on with the supply chain and how we've managed these struggles that have been the supply chain. So I hope you guys come back and check it out. Guys, again, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.